Okay, so just heard that secondhand smoking that there should be a law to ban secondhand smoking from apartments in California because it's responsible for secondhand smoking is a health risk to many people in the apartments, because it spreads through ventilation and also because it can also be a result of fire and other accidents. So I'm here to mention that secondhand smoking, well, there's no denying that smoking and secondhand smoking does have a negative effect on people. It's been proven that over time it will affect a person's lungs and cause other problems. But here to say that there are other factors that could affect what would happen if the bill is passed, or just how people would be affected by it, and that there could be better ways to avoid the problem. So I'm going to go over, my points will be how banning secondhand smoking could possibly cause other problems, both social and also in terms of like rights and politics. And also go over just how it's easy to solve. It could be easy to minimize the damage done by secondhand smoking without having to go straight to the government to ban it and create a new law. And the final point would be how secondhand smoking is only one of many problems that the government has to deal with. So in most counties and states where smoking has been banned, there's been a rise in other problems such as DUIs. So according to Scott Adams and Chad Coddy, who are economists at the University of Milwaukee, Wisconsin, smoking bans seem to have been followed by an increase in drunk driving and in fatal accidents involving alcohol. In research published in the Journal of Public Economics, the authors find evidence that smokers are driving further to places where smoking in bars is allowed. So therefore, because smoking has been banned in some places, people will try to drive further away to go to a place that's safer, and as a result, it can cause car accidents if they're in a hurry or under the influence, which could cause more property damage. Because according to National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, the drunk driving statistics, 32,885 people died in traffic crashes in 2010 in the U.S. And this was the latest figure available so far. So while 32,000 isn't as bad as 50,000 people that died of secondhand smoking, it could possibly go up if the ban forces more people to drive back outside. Alternatively, you don't necessarily have to pass a law because there are other ways to deal with secondhand smoking. For example, ventilation in your apartment could be helpful. For example, there's an article online from WikiHow on how to avoid secondhand smoking, and it comments that the government may or may not be on your side. So if that's the case, there are ways that you could deal with the problem. And one example is if you have an unused vent in your apartments, you could cover it up with plastic to prevent the smoke from flooding in, and also it isn't that hard to do, just remove the grate and put plastic in. And if that doesn't work, you could try to talk to the neighbor, because most people that smoke, they can still be approachable, and I guess if you talk it over, you can probably reach an agreement on something that will minimize the effect. However, ventilation is shown to not have the ultimate solution, because ventilation does have problems because according to an article by the House of Commons in Parliament in the UK, Nick Fish, the chief executive of the Association of Licensed Multiple Retailers, did concede that ventilation was no longer the full answer to the problem, and that smoking cessation had now become a major plank of government policy. Nonetheless, he maintained that ventilation could provide both comfort and safety for workers in the hospitality industry. He said, there is a solution there. If we want to do it, there is a way, and that is just science. So if people want, they could try to find a way to make it better, because you can just try to improve to stop secondhand smoking just by improving the technology or just ventilation. Additionally, a ban on smoking, it does in a way also affect a person's rights. The example of Steve Stanek of Heartland Institute for Chicago comments, "My sympathies aren't with smokers because I am one, it is because of the huge growth in laws and punishments, the government restricting people more and more." And also, Cornell Harris, the Director of Property Management for New Frontier Property, said, "The operative phrase is their apartment. If you want to smoke and slowly kill yourself, then go ahead, just do it at home." Well, home for some people means their apartment. Even if you construct a smoking area within the complex, having to get dressed and go outside at any hour of the day might just to smoke would be a huge inconvenience. So, in conclusion, while secondhand smoking is a problem, there is also the fact that there are other factors to decide, just like how banning it could cause other things to happen, or how there are just easier solutions than just making a law which could restrict things even harder and take away people's choice. And also, in the end, there is still the whole freedom of expression, which does, let's say that people can smoke, so perhaps maybe if you find an alternate solution instead of a law, it could end better.